Hi, I'm Bob the hippie gardener. It's cold out here. There's a foot of snow. It's the second week of February and it's cold out here. But that's not going to stop us because it's time to plant. If you're a gardener, come on. Okay, man, a little warmer in here, so we're glad to be back inside. So what I want to talk about today is planting seeds instead of buying transplants. Most people go to the store and they'll buy transplants, and those are ready to go out in the garden, and that's fine. But you can plant your own, and why would you want to do that? Number one, choice of varieties. You go to your local Menards or Lowe's or Home Depot, and they'll have a few varieties of tomatoes and a few varieties of peppers. But there are thousands of varieties of tomatoes and peppers out there. So varieties, if you want more varieties, you have to go out and find some seeds. The other advantage is cost savings. A little thing of plants, one of these single containers like this, can cost a couple of dollars. Well, you can buy a whole pack of seeds for that. So that's one reason. The other thing is to know what's in your plants. I know what's in this dirt, and I'll talk about that in a minute, how I made this soil. But I know what's in this, so that's what you need. So when you start your seeds indoors, you need lights, you need seed trays and inserts, you need some kind of a starting medium, you need seeds, and most importantly, you need a schedule. You need to know when you should plant certain things. Sometimes you can plant things too early. So we have a great way to help you with that, and that's to look at a website that we're going to show, the Farmer's Almanac. So when you go to your computer, all you need to do is go to a new tab and type Almanac.com, and it'll go right to the Farmer's Almanac site. This is the legendary Farmer's Almanac printed publication that you can still order online. Their site offers you a lot of information. If you look underneath here, it tells you about weather, your forecasting, and all that kind of good stuff. You can look up weather history. How hot was it on your birthday last year? You could look that up if you wanted to. It tells you gardening, different projects like planting calendar, and that's why we're here. Let's talk about the planting calendar. So if you choose planting calendar, it comes to the planting calendar page, and all you need to do is put in your zip code. And here in Central Illinois, ours is 61610, and when I click on search, it will literally generate a table showing me when to start each plant. And it shows you two dates. One date is the date that you can start planting this based on the last spring frost date, which it says is April 24th here in Greater Peoria Area Airport. And it shows you a date you can start planting February 26th for basil. And if you wanted to go by the moon sign, it recommends you use March 2nd to March 12th. And then if you wanted to plant seedlings or transplants, to plant them outside, this will tell you when to plant those seedlings or transplants outside. Now, when you start your seeds outdoors over here, so if you wanted to plant basil outside, it's saying that's not a good place to do it. So it's better if it's started inside, is really what it's telling you. So we can go down here for any vegetable, and we're going to talk a little bit about peppers today. So I'm going to go here in my area and look at peppers, which is kind of confusing because it's listed under bell peppers. And it's going to tell me that I could plant those from February 12th to February 26th. And February 12th it will be Saturday after I'm making this video, so I'm going to make it just a little bit early. So I can plant these now, and I can actually plant them out based on this from May 1st to May 15th, which is about right. It's when I plant them out virtually every year. Also, this has another feature, so if I click on this bell pepper's name over here that's underlined as a link, it actually takes me to a growing guide that shows me everything you need to know about bell peppers, what the genus and botanical name is, what kind of sun it needs, what zone they're hardy in, and then it talks about bell peppers, how to grow them, and various other things. So you can get all the information you need here to grow your plants. And that's what we did, and we decided that it was time to grow peppers. When we talk about the things you need, let's go over the list. Like I said, you need lights. And you need some lights to make your seedlings grow healthy. You can get some really great lights, though, for not very much money, for example, on Amazon. These are LED panels that are made in China, and they're very, very reasonably priced. For example, here's an example of one that I purchased for $69 last year. This is now $49 online, so anti-inflation, I guess. This little tiny light here is equivalent to a 1,000-watt bulb, but it uses 60 watts of electricity. So this is one, and I'll put a little link down at the bottom on this. This is one kind you can use all the way up to one that you can grow the seedlings to maturity. You could grow your peppers inside if you wanted to. For another kind of light, just a little bit more powerful, say a 2,000-watt one, you could get one, say, for less than $100 easily. And those will take up about 200 watts of electricity, like a 200-watt bulb. So let's talk a little bit about the seed trays. Seed trays are some kind of plastic, which I don't like, but if you're going to use them, I like to have them so they're reusable. So I buy some really good seed trays. They're standard, what we call 10 by 20 seed trays. And you'll be able to see these at Home Depot, but they're not like these. These are solid. These are solid. They're not going anywhere. Even with a full seed tray full with liquid in it, these are not going to bend down and fall on you. And then you can get some kind of inserts. These use the standard, what we call 10 by 20 inserts. These are 10 wide by 20 inches long. And we'll have a link down at the bottom where you can find some of these growing trays. They're expensive. But then again, I'm going to use these probably for 10 years at least. So it's an investment to me that I think is worth it. So the other thing you need to talk about is the starting medium. What do you start them in? And you can make your own in it organically if you want to. It's pretty simple. What I did was I started with some peat moss. And when you buy it, it comes in a big bundle. And looks like this. And it's very powdered. You may want to put a mask on when you break this apart, frankly, because it's pretty nasty stuff to breathe. So it's just peat moss, and then I add vermiculite to it. And vermiculite is just a kind of a popcorn version of mica, which helps for making the soil loose and drain a little bit better. So that's the two things that I use. And what I added to it is I added some of Mother Marcia's Hippie Gardener worm bed castings. And they really do the job. So that's added in there too to give them a little bit of food to start with. It's a very gentle amount of fertilizer. So what we're going to do according to the schedule that we talked about earlier is we're going to talk about planting peppers, because according to our area in central Illinois, it's time to plant these now. So peppers are one thing that you can plant. And I like to do various kinds. I like to do chocolate peppers and these yellow monsters. And these are habaneros. These peppers here are like a habanero, except they don't have any heat. They have the flavor of habanero. And these are called TAM jalapenos. And these are were developed by Texas A&M. That's what the TAM comes from, to be 1/10 as hot as regular jalapenos. And finally, I have something called sweet Goliaths, which are great big ones that turn red. These are great. So I'm going to plant these, and when you plant these, it's pretty easy to do. We'll do it really quickly here. You just make you make sure the medium's wet. I make a little hole in the middle, because you want to plant seeds about anywhere from 3 to 4 times the depth or the size of the seed deep. So this is pretty easy to do. And I usually put 2 of them in each one. And then when you're done, all you have to do, put the extras back, is take a little bit of the soil from the side, put it over on top, and press them down. Now, pepper seeds like warm soil. So one of the things you probably want to do is put them in a really warm place. And you might even want to consider using a plant heat mat, which you can buy reasonably at say Lowe's or Home Depot, where you could put this. It's like a regular heating pad, except it's real gentle and it goes underneath the whole tray and it warms up the seeds from the bottom. That's something you might want to try. Now, according to my zone, I can plant these peppers and eggplants now. So if you go to that calendar, you'll be able to find out what you can plant now. So let's get gardening, okay? Thank you. Be sure to subscribe.